This is the Lunar phase simulator. Let's say you were starting off with a picture where the moon was, say, in this position here, and you were being asked what phase it was. You could look up here and you can see it would be third quarter. If you were asked, say, 8 days after the third quarter what the phase would be, what you could do is you can click on this day here, where it will sort of fast forward a day, and then we can do that 8 times, and that will allow us to figure out what phase it would be after 8 days. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see that the answer then would be waxing crescent. Alright, let's now focus on the rising and setting times of the moon. And we can look at the different phases and when they rise and set. In order to do that, what I would recommend is that you check the show tick marks box here and also show the moon rise, moon set line. If you look at this moon rise, moon set line, you can see the triangle here is denoting moon rise, and the moon set is denoted by the square here. So that's how you're going to be able to differentiate between moon rise and moon set. So let's say we were interested in figuring out what time the moon rose when it was full and what time the moon sets when it's full. So what we would do is drag the moon around here with the mouse until it's a full moon. And there we go, and I've got 100% illuminated visible here on the full moon. It is full for a while here, but I've put on 100% here. So what we can do then is just to figure out which way we're going around the Earth, hit the play button here to get you an indication. There you go, see, that gives you an indication. So let's drag this observer back, and we'll drag it back to here. Now as you can see, that's the triangle. This would be moon rise. And I'm going to just drag that back just to get an idea on the time. You can see the time is listed here where I've got the cursor. So that's the observer's current time. So then I can hit the play button and we can see what happens. Moon rise to moon set, and moon set would be this time over here. So I'm looking just for an estimate, so it doesn't have to be exact, but something in that ballpark is what I would be looking for. And you can do that for each of the moon phases listed on the table. Now the other questions, it might be asking, say, let's say it's 22 days after the new moon. What are we talking about as far as the phase then? So what you can do is you can take it back to 22 days here. And you can see that most likely it's going to be something like waning crescent would be your answer there. And I've also got a time listed. Let's say it was at noon. So let's just to be more exact here. Let's take it back to 22 days at noon. Around here. And you can see actually it's going to be more likely third quarter, because that's at noon there, 12:06 p.m. So so it'd be third quarter would be the answer for that one. So let's say you were asked if you could see the moon at a certain time. Well, let's look at where we're at here, see if we could actually see the moon. Well, if you could, it depends on where the observer is here in relation to moon rise and moon set. But you can see that if the little observer here can actually see the moon, then he can see the moon. So let's say we move the observer over here. Because it's past the moon rise, moon set line, you can see that it's behind all that. He wouldn't be able to see the moon. But move him over here and he can see the moon. So it all depends on if the moon is up or not as to whether or not we can see it. Now the reason we can or can't see it is because it's behind it's behind the Earth if you can't see it. And that's what we mean by rising and setting. And again, if you're not certain about which way the Earth is going, just hit the play button here and it will show you, and then you can get a very good indication of whether you can see the moon or not.